Have you ever felt like you are working incredibly hard, doing everything right, but the world just isn't noticing? You put in the hours, you offer your kindness, you show up every day, yet your bank account, your career, and your relationships remain stagnant. It is a frustrating place to be. But the truth we often fail to realize is that the world does not reward effort. The world rewards value. If you want your life to change, if you want more respect, better opportunities, and a higher income, you do not need to work yourself to the bone doing the same things. You need to increase your value. Increasing your value is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is not about manipulation or loud self-promotion. It is about a fundamental shift in how you develop your skills, how you manage your time, how you treat yourself, and how you solve problems for others. When you become a person of high value, the world naturally shifts around you. Opportunities start chasing you instead of you chasing them. Let us break down the exact blueprint of how you can dramatically increase your value, starting today. The absolute first step to increasing your value is mastering the art of self-education. Most people stop learning the day they graduate from school or land their first job. They get comfortable. They spend their evenings consuming mindless entertainment, wondering why their life feels stagnant. If you want to stand out, you must become a lifelong learner. Think about the skills you currently possess. If anyone can learn your job in a week, your economic value is low. That is just harsh reality. To change this, you must acquire high-income skills. These are skills that are rare, difficult to master, and highly in demand. It could be public speaking, data analysis, copywriting, software development, strategic negotiation, or digital marketing. Commit to reading books that expand your mind. Listen to educational podcasts during your commute. Take online courses. Spend just 1 hour a day learning a new skill. In a year, that is 365 hours of focused growth. You will completely outpace everyone around you who chose comfort over progress. The more you know and the more uniquely skilled you are, the more irreplaceable you become. However, skills alone are not enough if you do not understand the power of your presence. To increase your value, you must learn to protect your time and your energy. High-value people are not available to everyone all the time. If you answer every single phone call on the first ring, if you reply to every text message within seconds, and if you say yes to every single social invitation, you are signaling to the world that your time is not worth much. When you make yourself overly available, people begin to take you for granted. Learn the power of the word no. When you say no to things that do not align with your goals or your values, you are saying yes to your own growth. Set strict boundaries. Let people know that your time is precious. When people realize that your time is limited, they will value the moments they do get to spend with you or work with you. This brings us to the concept of scarcity. In economics, the rarer something is, the more expensive it becomes. Gold is valuable because it is scarce. The same rule applies to human behavior. Do not be the person who is always lingering, always complaining, and always visible. Step back, work in silence, let your results speak for you rather than your words. Speaking less is actually one of the quickest ways to increase your perceived and actual value. We live in a world where everyone is shouting, trying to get attention. Everyone wants to talk, but very few people want to listen. When you become a person who listens deeply before speaking, your words carry massive weight. Observe the people in a room. The person who speaks the most is rarely the most powerful or the most valuable. The most valuable person is usually the one who sits quietly, observes the information, and then delivers a concise, powerful solution. Train yourself to speak only when your words are more valuable than silence. When you do speak, make sure it adds value, offers clarity, or solves a problem. People will naturally start leaning in to hear what you have to say because they know it matters. Your value is also intrinsically tied to how you handle your commitments. If you want to be highly valued, you must become a person of absolute integrity. Your word must be your bond. If you say you are going to show up at 8 o'clock, be there at 10 minutes to 8. If you promise to deliver a project by Friday, deliver it by Thursday afternoon. We live in a society where people make empty promises constantly. They flake on plans, they miss deadlines, and they make excuses. When you separate yourself from the crowd by being completely reliable, your value skyrockets. People want to do business with, marry, and support individuals they can trust blindly. Reliability is a rare currency. Be the person everyone knows they can count on no matter what. While you're building trust with others, you must also look at how you treat yourself. You cannot expect the world to value you if you don't value yourself. This manifests in your physical presentation, your posture, and your health. How you present yourself to the world is the first piece of data people use to measure your value. Take care of your health. Eat food that fuels your body, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep. Dress in a way that shows you respect yourself. This does not mean you need to buy expensive designer clothes. It means your clothes should be clean, well-fitted, and appropriate for the environment. Walk with your head up, your shoulders back, and make firm eye contact. When you carry yourself like someone of value, people subconsciously accept that assessment before you even open your mouth. Beyond physical appearance, your emotional resilience dictates your value in times of crisis. When things go wrong, and they will, most people panic. They complain, they point fingers,
and they fall apart. High-value individuals do the exact opposite. They remain calm. They become the anchor in the storm. When a crisis hits, train yourself to pause. Take a deep breath. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How do we fix this?" If you can be the person who stays level-headed when everyone else is losing their minds, you become the most important person in the room. Companies will pay millions for people who can solve high-stress problems calmly. Friends and family will look to you for strength. Your value is tested and proven in the fires of adversity. This ties directly into shifting your mindset from a consumer to a producer. Most people walk through life asking, "What can I get out of this?" They look at a job and think, "How can I do the bare minimum and still get paid?" They look at a relationship and think, "What are they doing for me?" This is a low-value, scarcity mindset. To increase your value, you must constantly ask, "How can I add value here?" When you walk into a business, don't just look at the products, look at how they could improve their customer service. When you start a new job, don't just do your tasks, look for inefficiencies in the company and fix them without being asked. Become a problem solver, not a problem creator. The world is full of people who complain about problems. The individuals who actually identify solutions and execute them are the ones who command the highest respect and the highest compensation. Another crucial element of value is emotional intelligence. You can be the smartest person in the world with the most advanced degrees, but if you are arrogant, difficult to work with, and emotionally volatile, your value drops to zero. High-value individuals practice empathy. They try to understand where other people are coming from. They control their anger. They do not get dragged into petty gossip or useless arguments. They lift others up rather than tearing them down. When you make people feel good about themselves when they are around you, they will naturally want to be around you more. They will want to help you succeed. Your network is a reflection of your value, and you build a powerful network by treating people with genuine respect and emotional maturity. As you build these habits, you must also audit your inner circle. It is impossible to increase your value if you are constantly surrounded by people who pull you down. If your closest friends spend their time gossiping, drinking excessively, complaining about their jobs, and doubting your ambitions, they are draining your value. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Seek out people who are ahead of you in life. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, who talk about ideas rather than people, and who inspire you to do better. It is better to be alone and focused on your growth than to be surrounded by people who keep you comfortable in your mediocrity. Elevating your social circle automatically elevates your standards, and your standards dictate your value. Furthermore, you must eliminate the validation-seeking behavior that plagues modern society. A high-value person does not need constant praise, likes on social media, or approval from others to know their worth. When you constantly seek approval, you give away your power. You allow other people's opinions to dictate your emotional state. Validate yourself. Know your worth based on the discipline you practice every day, the goals you achieve, and the character you build. When you stop begging for attention and approval, you paradoxically become far more attractive and valuable to the world. You become self-contained, grounded, and powerful. Finally, understand that increasing your value is not a temporary project. It is not something you do for a month just to get a promotion or win someone's affection. It is a lifelong philosophy. It is a daily commitment to excellence. Every morning when you wake up, you are faced with a choice. You can choose the easy path, sleeping in, eating junk food, wasting time on your phone, and reacting to whatever happens to you. Or you can choose the path of value, waking up with purpose, feeding your mind, moving your body, working on your goals, and controlling your reactions. The compounding effect of these choices over time is staggering. Small choices made consistently every day create a completely different human being over the course of a few years. You will look back and barely recognize the person you used to be. Stop waiting for the world to give you more. The world is a mirror. It reflects back to you exactly what you are worth based on what you contribute and how you carry yourself. If you want a better life, become a better version of yourself. Develop your skills until you cannot be ignored. Guard your time like the priceless asset it is. Speak with purpose, act with absolute reliability, and solve the problems that others run away from. Lift your standards, change your habits, and watch how quickly your world transforms. You have the power to redefine your worth at any given moment. Start doing it right now.